My name is Bruce Babcock, and I have been a public school teacher for 20 years. Teaching is a craft. It requires a lot of planning for lessons to be successful. Classrooms must be properly managed, and lessons must be scaffolded for students to meet educational objectives. I enjoy working with young people, helping them to develop skills that will allow them to become successful adults. They learn to read and write, calculate, mediate, listen, critique, evaluate, express ideas, and collaborate within a group. Teaching the skills that our young people need to be successful in their lives and to be productive citizens is the foundation of teaching. It gives teaching its integrity. The Common Core Learning Standards identifies the knowledge, skills, and understandings that all students can do and will do over time. What is not uncommon is the frequent disconnect between the Common Core standards and the assessments that support the objectives within these standards. In other words, the Common Core defines a skill as important, but the skill is not always assessed. Speaking is one such example of a skill that is identified as important, but is not formally evaluated by the state. As a teacher, I recognize the disconnected expectations of teaching standards and teaching what our students need to be successful. Teaching important skills regardless of their presence in the Common Core is an example of integrity within teaching. So why did I try something new in the classroom, like public speaking? There are no state assessments. They aren't on the Danielson rubric. It's one more unit to create. I already don't have the time I want to teach the content I've been assigned through my curriculum maps. I had that mindset. Despite the obstacles, I decided to teach public speaking to my students. To this day, it continues to be one of the most rewarding teaching experiences. I decided to teach students how to speak well because speaking is a skill of obvious importance. Effective communication is necessary for any successful student or adult. I didn't need the state of New York's approval before I decided to teach. Similarly, I didn't need my administrator to tell me it was important. This point goes back to the unique responsibility that I have as a teacher. I am responsible for shaping and modeling young people, helping them to develop the skills they need to be successful when they are older. If you take a moment and reflect on that statement, you are left with the awesome responsibility that teachers have. That responsibility was mine. I am determined to give my students the experiences they needed to be successful. And my students were not going to have their potential limited because there wasn't a state assessment. I understand how busy you are. I know how overwhelming it feels to plan and try something new. Affording you the opportunity to teach public speaking to your students is the purpose of the book, How to Master the Art of Oratory, available from youngspeakersacademy.org. This workbook will walk you through the basics of teaching public speaking to your students in sets of ready-to-use lessons and videos that model the process of using the contained materials. Try it. You'll be rewarded by the work your students create, and you will be reminded that not all important teaching is mandated from state-written standards. It comes from you, the teacher.